Outtakes.
Outtakes. Do that outtakes. We need some bloopers in here, right? Cheers. Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Minette Rarden here with
Cindy Watts. How are you?
We are Solve the Marketing Puzzle, here to bring you some more great tips on how to get that marketing plan up and going. One of our philosophies is it's so important to just get it going and quit trying to get it perfect all of the time.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't need to take you a year to put it together. Just get started.
Just get started, right? Because when you get started, you get clients.
That's right.
Now, one of the things that we want to talk about today is a great way to get clients is through networking.
Yes, which is one of my favorites.
Yes, mine too. Cindy and I have been in lots of networking groups over the years. We run one together. We're actually in two together right now. Network on Purpose is one of our new favorite ones, and our web group, which is just here in Plano, Texas, of all places. And we have a lot of fun, and part of our passion is around educating women on how to network effectively. And one of the ways that you have to start doing that is by creating a great 30-second commercial.
Yes, because if you don't have the right message or the right question to ask people in a 30-second commercial, that 30 seconds is going to buzz by and they're not going to know how to help you. So you really got to know what to do. So we're going to talk about that today.
We are, and I'll never forget the first time I went to the Plano Chamber of Commerce 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. And the lady that convinced me to come to a 7:30 a.m. business interchange didn't warn me that I was going to have to stand up in front of everybody.
Oh my gosh.
And give a commercial. And I wasn't nearly as confident 10 years ago as I am now. So if you get totally nervous and freaked out about standing up in front of people, there's hope. It just takes practice, right?
That's right.
There have been plenty of times when our knees were shaking and my face turned a beet red because they went down these rows. And you could see them all coming until it was getting closer and closer and closer to you. It was awful, Cindy. It was awful. And I was so nervous and I had no clue what to say. And I think in our 10 years of networking, we've seen a lot of really bad 30-second commercials.
Oh yes, and I know I've done my fair share where I get nervous too.
And lazy ones, know, where we didn't really take the time to prepare.
That's the biggest piece is preparation. And I have found that when I do prepare ahead of time, I get much better results, 10 times fold. So it's something that we will definitely.
And the reason we're talking about this, because the whole point of going to networking, my kitty's here visiting. Yes, he's going to help. He'll probably jump up on the counter in a minute. But the reason that we want to talk about this today, the whole point that you go to networking events is to drive referrals for your business. Mm-hmm. One of the mistakes that people make is thinking that you're going to networking to sell to the room. You're not going to sell to the people in the room, are you?
No.
And what do we call those people that go in and try to sell to the room? We're going to talk about this before.
Those are card pushers. They're the people that are pushing their products. And it's almost like those are your true sales people because they're trying to sell to everybody they come in contact with.
And that's not who we want to do business with.
No.
Who we want to do business with is people that we have a relationship with, that we get to know. So in our web networking group, one of the things that we do is we educate the women that you're not here to sell to the room. You're here to build a whole army of salespeople that love you and appreciate you and know your products and are going to go out and sell them for you.
Right, because having more people out there selling for you enables you as an entrepreneur or business owner to really concentrate on working your business and building more of the marketing on the outside. So if you've got inbound referrals coming from people from networking, that's priceless. How awesome is that? Most of the time, they're ready to buy too. You don't even have to go through the sales process.
And it's not a warm lead, it's a hot lead, which is what we want to create. So we want to give you some ideas about how to create a 30-second commercial that just really rocks. And we've had some help with this over the years. We always like to talk about our friend Jeff Klein.
Yes.
Right, who started one of our another networking groups that we love called the Speaker Co-op. And Jeff Klein Creative is his company. You can go Google him and find him online. Or if you buy the Solve the Marketing Puzzle, you get all the hot links to all of our programs. So there's my sales pitch for the day. But some of the things we learned from him, we've really incorporated into our 30-second commercials over the last 6 or 7 years that we've known Jeff.
Yeah.
So Cindy, do we start by saying, hi, I'm Dr. Minette Rarden. I'm the owner of Scissortail Publishing, and I sell advertising for a living.
Absolutely not. Because I'm going to go, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to start playing with my phone, thinking about what's after the actual networking.
Oh my God, are my kids calling sick?
That's right. All kinds of other things start floating in the brain. So absolutely not.
So what's a great way to start a 30-second commercial?
The great way to start it is to ask a question or to come up with a thought that you can drive curiosity back to what you do more than anything. Questions are the best because people go, oh yeah, that's me. Or, oh, I know somebody that's like that, that. My neighbor or my client needs that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really going to make people go through that Rolodex in the back of their mind.
Right.
Rather than opening up to just generalizing things that you do.
I love the questions, but I also love the testimonials, right? The whole point, and one of the other things we preach about and Solve the Marketing Puzzle all the time is that you have to show people how you can solve their problems. Because the sad part is it's not about you. Hate to tell you, don't care about you. I only care about me and my own pains, problems, and predicaments.
Mm-hmm.
Our 3 Ps, our lovely 3 Ps. So asking a question gives a hint and a suggestion as to what the problem is that you can solve.
That's right.
So one of the ones we were surfing around online, which we spend a lot of time doing, especially our social media guru over here. And one of the ones we found was a massage therapist that said, want to know how to recession-proof your body?
How great is that?
And I'm like, well, yeah.
You bet.
Or a person that sold coffee machines said, hey, want to know how to cut your coffee costs in half this week? Right?
You bet.
Things like that. Yes, I do.
You bet.
Right? Or someone that sells sales, teaching, and consulting might come in and say, do you want to know how to help your sales team increase their sales by 50% in the next 30 to 90 days?
You bet.
I'm Dr. Minette Rowden. I can teach you how.
There you go.
So why don't we say our name first?
We don't say our name first because they're going to forget it by the time it gets to the end of the 30 seconds. And if you give them the name, they haven't really connected to you yet anyway.
Right.
They really need to connect with that pain or that predicament or that
I don't really care if they remember my name.
No.
I want them to remember what problem I'm going to solve.
That's right. But by the end of that 30 seconds, if you say the name at the end, they can jot it down on their notes.
He's running all around my ankles down here. He's being very silly today. You know, another fun one that we found that we liked was a dentist who stood up and said, I get to the root of the problem.
I love that one.
Right? And, and then go on to talk about how, one of the most fascinating things about dental hygiene is that gum sensitivity can be a sign of food sensitivities, food allergies, or other diseases happening in your body. Who knew? Right? I needed a dentist to educate me about that. My own dentist hadn't when I was lying there in the chair, but this one at the commercial did, and it said, oh, well, he's thinking about my health in more than just my teeth, right? He's looking at me from a holistic perspective, which for me is very important.
Very smart.
So there's some fun things to do. So the thing that I think we want to end with, so remember not to start with your name. You want to lead with a question first. Tell them what problems you're solving, then say your name and company name. And then this is the key, always ask for what you need. This is probably the biggest mistake after saying that everybody's a good client for me. We didn't talk about that. We need to talk about that. Someone cracks us up. But the other thing you have to do is to always ask for who you're looking for.
And be very specific.
So why don't you give an example?
So for example, the dentist.
Yeah.
Okay. He can say, and you can help me today if you know someone that has a child, a girl or a boy, that's 12 years old that is getting ready for orthodontic care. Mm-hmm. That can be something very unique and specific. If it's for advertising for North Texas kids, today I'm looking for service-related businesses that deal with birthday parties in the Collin County area.
Yeah.
Be as specific as possible. And
well, I know
really
one of the ones I've heard Cindy say before, we remember each other's and not our own, isn't that funny? But she might say, hey, I have a great new program where I can offer continuing education for realtors. So this week I'm looking for introductions to real estate agents or real estate office managers who can help me get in front of them, right? Mm-hmm. Something like that. So it's very specific. Real estate agents, preschools, I'm looking for doctors this week, I'm looking for journalists this week, right? Mm-hmm. So getting really clear about a particular segment of your target client population. And remember, you shouldn't be doing any of this unless you're really clear about who your ideal client is first.
That's right. And if you're doing networking, you're probably going to these places on a regular basis, whether it's monthly or weekly or bi-monthly. And so you can change what you're looking for each particular month.
Right.
That's why it's important you don't vomit on them.
Yes, yeah.
Tell them everything.
Yeah, no laundry lists
no.
of all the different features of your business. We can't take it in. And like at our web meeting, we regularly have 50 to 60 women there.
Yeah.
We're listening to 50 or 60 different commercials.
That's right. That's right.
It gets long.
And those women that actually are targeting one piece of their business at a time, each month I jot it down because oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Or wow, I've got somebody for that referral. So instead of going through that whole laundry list, having something
Pick
specific.
one thing to highlight.
That's
You
important.
know, one of our pet peeves around 30-second commercials, because they're just so useless and they don't help anybody. There's two classic examples. You know, you go to a networking meeting and there's a hairdresser there. No offense to all you hairdressers, we're trying to help you. But the hairdresser who walks in and says, anybody with hair is a great client for me. Well, it's not true.
It's not.
Cindy and I have short hair, kind of curly, but not really. Our friend Heidi, we used to work with, had beautiful, long, dark, curly hair all the way down her back.
Yeah.
African Americans have very unique hair that certain people can cut.
Yeah.
Cindy gets hers highlighted. I like to get mine highlighted. My mom dyes her completely every month.
Yeah.
Some people are great with color.
Right. There
Right?
are color specialists
Yeah.
that are out there.
And then there's the hairdresser who loves to do the little ladies that come in and get their hair just done, right?
Yeah.
Get it rolled and set on a weekly basis, you know. So there's always a niche that we specialize in. That's why the ideal client profile piece is so important. So it's an example of how we tend to be too broad. And when we're too broad, it makes us impossible to refer.
That's right, because people can't go through the Rolodex that fast.
Yeah.
But if you actually give a specific target, then they can stop where they need to in that Rolodex they have in their brain or their phone.
We met with, we have the same State Farm agent that we love, Ann Dunham.
We love her.
Yes, we do. Ann's awesome. And I had lunch with her yesterday. Cindy has a teenage driver, and my son, I almost have a teenager. He's going to be 13 on March 1st. So we were talking about Ann and teenage drivers and North Texas Kids, and realized that for her to be really effective in advertising through North Texas Kids, targeting specifically parents who were about to have a teen driver is a great niche to focus on.
That is a good niche.
Whereas just trying to sell
Smart.
generic insurance like homeowners or car insurance isn't that helpful. We need to make our target markets align, right? And State Farm has a phenomenal teen driver program, as Cindy knows. It's 15%, right, cheaper than anybody else, she said. Anyway, we could go on and on, talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
But the point is, it's about making sure also that your message matches your medium, which is like one of our whole lessons in Solve the Marketing Puzzle. So anything else about 30-second commercials? Because you know we could talk all day about this.
I know.
We said we're going to do like 3 minutes, and I'm sure it's been like 20 minutes already.
But I think that's it.
Yeah.
Make sure that we don't say your name at the beginning,
Right.
name and company, save that to the end.
Yeah.
Make sure that you ask a question, be specific for what you want,
Yeah.
and give a great tagline at the end.
Oh, we forgot about the tagline. We have a couple of really favorite ones. If you have a great one, share it. Like, I personally don't have a great tagline. It's not part of my commercial.
Yeah.
I'm good about asking for specifically what I need. But a couple of our favorites, I think Judy Cordell, which Cordell Events is a favorite. Hers is, we bring the wow.
So you take the bow.
She's an event planner,
Ta-da.
right? Doug's Mighty Clean, one of my all-time favorites. He's a carpet cleaner. He has a carpet cleaning business, right? A big carpet cleaning business here in our area, and it's called Doug's Mighty Clean. And his tagline is, if it isn't mighty clean, it's a dirty shame,
I love it.
right? And that says a lot about Doug's integrity too.
That's right.
Right? That if he doesn't do the job that he is guaranteed, then it's a dirty shame and something's not working right. So,
Right.
you know, your tagline can say something about who you are as a person, as a business. It can show your values. It's really important. There's other fun gimmicks, like another one of our favorites that we talk about is Cheryl Webb, the Red Shoes Realtor. Cheryl has 350 pairs of red shoes, writes them off as a marketing expense. I think we
Yes.
talked about her in our last video. But everybody knows Cheryl as the Red Shoes Realtor, right? So it's a great opportunity for her to be very consistent so that people start to recognize her when she's out there networking consistently.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what's your 30-second commercial right now? Do you have one you're working on? I totally put you on the spot.
I know, it's kind of like, well, which one? What my favorite one that I always get a lot of response to
Yeah.
is when I tell them, when I start out, do you know that the internet has over 1 billion people on a daily basis?
Wow.
People are like, yeah, okay.
Wow.
Did you know that the internet is not going to turn off tomorrow, nor is social media? Are you ready to train yourself and learn what you have not been able to learn and catch up to what's actually happening today? Today I'm looking for women who are business owners in the field of services. And if you know someone, write your name on the back of the business card and pass it your way. This is Cindy Watts with Out of the Box Marketing, your resource to extra revenue.
Wow. Wow. I don't have one ready off the top of my head. So this is a great example of how you can tell that Cindy knows this. She's practiced it. She uses it all of the time. It's really important to look in the mirror if you're nervous, to watch yourself. I remember another friend of ours, Peter Bashara, he always plays the bongos at meetings, and he writes them on his way to the meeting because that's really easy for him, right? But there's people who come in with their commercials written down so they don't forget anything.
Sure.
You know, don't be afraid to practice. You know, networking's all about finding a safe place where you really feel comfortable too. So come back, because in our next video, we're going to talk about other ways to maximize your networking aside from your 30-second commercial.
Yay! See y'all later.
See you later.
Good
Bye.
luck.
Silly cat.
I know, she's like roping around. She's so cute.